Okay, welcome to Daily 3D Revolve. Today I'm going to be doing a Design Spark mechanical tutorial, and I'm going to be showing you how to create a rubber ink stamp. And we're going to be using 3 programs to create this. First we're going to have to create the model, and we're going to use Design Spark mechanical for that. Then we need to create the stamp. We're going to use CorelDraw for that. And then to convert the files, we're going to use a program called FreeCAD. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I'll open up Design Spark, but we want to go ahead and open up CorelDraw so we can create the stamp. It's going to be a round rubber ink stamp. So what we're going to have to do is create the base of the stamp in plastic, so you can print that in plastic. Then we're going to have to create a rubber pad, and you're going to have to glue that to the actual plastic part. And then we'll create a cover. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go new in CorelDraw, new 8.5 by 11. Then we're going to come up to File. We're going to go down to Import, and then we're going to navigate to our folder. This is going to be a Punisher logo. I just have to find the folder that I just created, Punisher stamp. So we're going to go ahead and create this logo, and we're going to use this as our stamp. So now you can apply the lessons that you're going to learn in this tutorial, and you can pretty much make any stamp that you want. So we're going to go right mouse click on this. We're going to go to outline trace, do detailed logo. Then we're going to come over here and click OK. We're going to drag this out of the way. This is going to be our vector copy, and to figure that out, you go to View, View by Wireframe. You can see this is the bitmap. Can get rid of that. This is a vector. So we're going to do a stamp that's a specific size. I think I'd like to make it 2.5. So we'll go 2.5, tab, 2.5, enter. And we're going to make a round stamp. So we're going to select that art, do Control G for group. Then we're going to click on this node on the upper right corner, hold down the Shift key, and we're going to scale it down. Now a shortcut in Corel to put stuff in the center of the page is P. So you hit P on the keyboard and then select that circle, hit P. You know they're right in the center. So now we're going to go ahead and blow this up. Go to View, View Normal. Okay, this is going to be the size of the actual file. So what I want to do is maybe make this a little bit smaller. So we're going to go click on our skull, and we're going to go change the actual size here proportionally. So we're going to go 65. So we'll type 6.5, tab 6.5. Okay, that's pretty good right there. And then we're going to take this circle, we're going to select it, do Control C on the keyboard, Control V. We're going to grab the node on the outside, hold down the Shift key, and we're going to put a circle around this. And we're going to add some thickness to it. So we'll select the line. We're going to come up here to our line tool. We're going to go down to about 4 point. Actually, I wanted that one. So click, go to 4 point. This one we could change back to a hairline. So this is going to be our Punisher stamp. We're going to go ahead and select everything. It's going to be 2.5 inches. So we're going to go ahead and go to File, go to Export. We're going to export everything here as an SVG. So we'll just call it Untitled. Make sure Selected Only down here in this area is selected. Hit Export. Go ahead and hit OK. Now we're going to minimize Corel. This is our Untitled SVG up here. So we're going to open up a program called FreeCAD. This is an excellent free program. It's kind of got a steep learning curve. It's kind of difficult to learn if you're not familiar with CAD and these kind of programs. But it's free. I use it for converting and doing some other light stuff. So what we want to do once it opens is go ahead and create new. We're going to drag in our file. We want to select the SVG as geometry. Select. And now we have the shape here. We want to do Control A, that gets everything. And then we want to go File, and we want to export this out as a steep file or step file. and we just call this Punisher. We'll go to desktop, we'll say save, and then we're going to go ahead and minimize this, or we can close this out. Don't set discard changes. Okay, so now we want to open up Design Spark. We're going to go to new design, change this to plan view by clicking this eye icon down here, and then we're going to create this in inches. So we need to go back up to File, go to Design Spark Options, navigate to Units, and then we need to change from metric over here to imperial. Click OK. Sometimes you got to do this a couple times. I've noticed it's kind of a Design Spark quirk. Sometimes it doesn't take, sometimes it does. So okay, it looks like it took. So we want our stamp to be, we got a stamp drawing that we're going to actually use as a reference. So we're going to go ahead and drag that in. Kind of looks like a little chess piece, but this is going to be our round stamp, and we're going to basically model it after this. So we know that our we want to revolve the base. We want to revolve all of this. We know that our bottom part, the stamp part, needs to be 2.5. So we're going to do 1.25. So we're going to actually come out here from the center with our line tool, 1.25. We might actually want to go a little bit bigger. Let's go a little bit bigger. Let's go 1.375. Okay. And now we're going to create, let's click off of this with select. We're going to get our line on the bottom, the base on the bottom. We're going to go here, drag out to 1.75. And then we're going to use our 3-point arch. We're going to go from here to there, and then we're going to give that a little bit of a curve. Right there. Okay, this is going to be the piece we're going to revolve around for our base. I think we need it to be thicker. So let me undo that. Let's add the line down here, but make it thicker. Let's make it this thick. 1.75. Select the click off. Let's grab our 3-point arch. Let's go from endpoint to endpoint. Go like this. And now we need to close off this. So let's get the line tool, go from endpoint there to endpoint there. Okay, this is going to be our piece that we're going to revolve around. So now let's move this into place. And this needs to be in the middle here. This is going to be our handle right up here. So let's go ahead and get the line tool. Go from there straight up. We only need to draw half of this. Let's go 2.625. Go ahead and get our circle tool. Let's create a circle here. This is going to be our first shape. Okay, and then I'm going to use the spline tool for the rest of this. So go ahead and get your spline tool. Let's click here. Actually, let's undo a couple of these. Let's turn off our snaps. I notice that they're on. They're kind of difficult to draw with when you have the snaps on. So we'll go ahead and turn off snaps. And we'll create our stamp handle. Okay, let's go ahead and select the click off. And then we're going to get the trim away tool. Let's trim away that piece there. This doesn't actually look too bad, so we're going to go ahead and keep it. Now the nice thing about using the spline tool, and I think I've done videos on these, is you can, this stuff you can edit, you can move the shape around, so but it doesn't look like we have to. This is a pretty good shape. So we're going to click on there, move this out of the way. We're going to go to our pool. We're going to revolve these around, hold down your control key, get both. get your revolve tool here, go from this point, and then do a full pull. Okay, this is going to be our stamp. And then what we're going to need to do is hollow out the middle here a little bit for the pad. So we're going to go ahead and turn it like this. We're going to click here, go to the plan view, and then we're going to pan down. And then we want to put a circle in there. So we're going to click here. I think what did I say our pad was? Let me click there. Let me go back to Corel. I forgot what it was. 2.5. Okay. So this is 2 point. We can actually make this bigger if we wanted to. Okay, let's just type 2.5. Okay, that's okay. We put our pad in here, and then maybe make it a little bit bigger, probably 2.75, and then you could just center the rubber piece in there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and spin this. We're going to pull. We're going to pull that piece up. I'd say, like, let's do undo. Let's click on that. Let's pull it 0.1. Actually minus 0.1. Okay, or actually 0.2. Minus 0.2. Nope. Minus 0.2. Okay, so that's enough room in there for the pad. And just remember this number, 0.2. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and project off of here. So we're going to take that shape there, and we're going to copy it, paste, Control C, Control V. Now we're going to move it. Grab this right here, move. Now we're going to fill it. Okay, this is where we're going to put our pad. And so we're going to spin this. And we're going to click on this face and go plan view. Okay, now we're going to go click on that. We're going to go to the import file. Oh, I'm sorry, that was shell. Let's go back here. Go to the file up here. We're going to change the file type here on this drop down menu to step. Then we're going to double click on this Punisher step here. We're going to click OK to this little box. Now we're going to drag this over and up. And we don't need this piece here. That's the outer piece. We'll just delete that. Oh, this was actually supposed to be a much thicker line. It didn't translate through. We can put our own line in there. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's select the Punisher guy. We'll go fill. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. So we're going to select it. We're going to come over here to pull. And then we're going to go to the scale icon. Scale. And we're going to click right there, and then we're just going to drag that up a little bigger. Go 1.2 larger, and then we're going to select the click off. And we're going to select that. We're going to move. It looks like it messed up my eye. Alright, that's fine. Well, I'm going to have to fix that. Okay, throw that in the center right there. That green, the green arrow lines up with the blue arrow. That's in the center. And then we're going to go green arrow up. I don't think we'll put a line on this one. I think we're just going to leave it. I think it looks good like that. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of these. Let's go ahead and select that, delete. Come over here to your structure tree. And then you're just going to have to, sometimes you have to, oh, there we go. Okay, so now you're going to Control plus. We got to somehow fix this because this is not extrudable with this being open like that. So let's see if we can fix it. And it might not be able to. Let's go undo. We could take this piece here, copy it over, and rotate it. That's a possible fix. So let's see if we can do that. Let's get rid of these lines. Control plus so I can see more easily what I'm doing. Let's no, I can't. I should probably have left this where it was to work on it. So you have to do a couple. All right, let's do this. Let's do a couple of undos. I want to get this back to the point where it's out here. Okay. And then go ahead and select that. Let's go to fill. Let me undo. I'm going to undo a few so I can get that art back out of the way. And then we'll go ahead and move it up. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, this one seems to be okay, so I don't know. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Let's try this one. This one seems to be like, to look like it's fillable, but let's go fill. This could just have multiple lines on top of it. Sometimes that's an issue. Yeah, it looks like we can probably fix this. So let's get our line tool. No, I can't. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix this. Let's try. That's one of the things you got to work through when you're using 3D modeling programs, is sometimes things don't import over properly, and you can't just scrap them. You got to work with the issues and try to figure out the best solution for fixing the problem. I'd probably go back into CorelDraw and make sure that there's only one of these, because there really should only be. That's one of the problems with using programs like CorelDraw and Illustrator, is when you do auto trace. Sometimes you get one line. Sometimes the trace will produce one line, and sometimes you'll have a line on top of a line. And whenever that happens, it'll give you problems. So really what you should do is check, and I normally do, you should check in CorelDraw before you export these out as SVGs, just to make sure that you only have one line, because you don't really want to have to do all this extra work if you don't need to. And sometimes it's easier dealing with these issues in Corel before you export out. Okay, I think I have just this piece to go. And then what I'm going to do here, okay, so let's control minus. What I'm going to do is click on that eye. I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to move the eye over, and then I'm going to, can I rotate this around all the way? No, I don't. I'm going to have to like flip it somehow. Because this one's okay. The other eye is not okay. Control minus. I'm going to try this again in, just hang tight here. I'm going to try this in CorelDraw one more time. We'll go back to CorelDraw. I think that's the problem, is there's multiple lines in here. So let's control minus. We know we're not going to need, we're going to get rid of anything that we don't need. And then we're going to control plus. Let's check these. this out for multiple lines, and I'll show you how to do that. Is you want to do Control U, which is on group, and then you want to start checking. Control U. And this one we'll have to break apart. So we'll go up here to break apart. And now we can check. See, multiples. Multiples. Your file should only always have one of everything, not multiples. See, that has two right there. And that tends to happen when you trace stuff. It looks good, but unless you check this stuff before you do anything, you're not gonna know. So, okay, we'll go to normal. Now we have to combine this back up. So to do that, you select everything. You go to View. Go to let's see, which one is it? Edit. Objects. And then we do Combine, or Control+L. Okay, now we have one that we could export. So let's go back to File. Let's go to Export as a SVG desktop. Let's replace this one. Let's go OK to that. Let's minimize. Let's open up FreeCAD. We'll have to minimize this. Let's move this out of the way. Let's open up FreeCAD right here. Let's do a new. Let's drag in our new Punisher, SVG, make sure that's checked. Control A. Let's export as the Punisher Steep, replace it. Now let's go back to Design Spark. Let's pan over. Okay, we're going to click there. Now we're going to go ahead and get the file. Double click here. Click OK to this. Let's drag this over to the right. Let's drag a marquee around it. And then we're going to do the fill. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to select, come over here to pull. We're going to go to the scale icon. Click there. Now we're going to scale this up. 101, I think we said 120. Okay, now we're going to click there. Let's click on our art, go to move, and let's move this out of the way. Put this in the center. Okay, let's go ahead and spin this. It looks like this art is not where it's supposed to be. I'll have to move it up a little bit. Okay, let's go click here. And let's move this down a little bit. So we have, okay, right about there. All right, now we're going to get rid of this. And now we're going to click on here. And we're going to move this up to here. Okay. Do we need the eyes in there? I don't think we need the eyes, so we can get rid of these. Okay, let's get rid of these. Okay, now let's go ahead and find our skull over here. Let's click on it. Let's do a pull. And let's pull this out 0.25. Okay, this one gonna have to make it a solid. Okay, let's pan over here. Let's go back to the top view. Okay, let's get rid of some things. Let's get rid of that. Spin a little bit. All right, let's get rid of this. We got to come over here to the structure. All right, looks like you're just going to have to delete it and then select everything. Delete. Okay, now let's go ahead and spin this. We're going to have to click on that, add some thickness to it. Let's pull, add a 0.130 thickness. So this is going to be your rubber. You're going to do this part with rubber. So this is going to be your stamp right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to print this piece here with plastic, and then you're going to print this piece with rubber. So, and then you're going to print both of them separately, and then you're going to go ahead and move this piece, where you're going to glue it to the bottom here. So we're going to move up to this piece here. Make sure that this is sticking out far enough. It might not be. Okay, it's not, so we're going to have to do some adjusting here. So we're going to adjust this base here. So we're going to pull this. We're going to pull it so this is sticking out a little bit. All right, let's check this out. Because we want to get ink just on this pad here, and then when you go to stamp, it'll be stamped. So this actually looks pretty good. We can leave it at this size here. If you want to make this part taller, you can. So we'll go ahead and go to pull there. Maybe give that a little bit more height. Okay, that looks pretty good there. And then all right, so this is going to be our stamp. And I think this might be a little bit too, I'm going to have to pull that up a little bit. There we go. It's flat there. Now we got rid of our, let's undo that. We got rid of our pad. We don't want to, probably should have done a no merge here. That's a situation where you want to have two pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and don't want this. Yeah, we want to keep the parts separate, because then when we print them, we don't want them touching. So let's go do a couple of undos. Just enough so you get the pad over here. So what I'm going to do is copy that and do a paste, and then I'm going to drag this pad over here. So so now we have the pad, Punisher pad, and then we have the base. So we're going to leave it like this for now, and then we can this will be the thing there. All right, that's going to be our Punisher piece. Just as long as they're separated, that's good. I'll go ahead and delete that, and then we'll go isometric view. And so you got your pad here to put the ink on, and print this in rubber, and then you're going to glue it to here, and then you have your stamp. And then that's going to end today's tutorial. Hopefully you enjoy watching and you got some useful tips and tricks out of this video. And thanks again for watching.